What if your sensitivity was never a weakness, but a misunderstood power? What if the exhaustion you feel is because you care too much, but because you were never taught how your abilities actually work? For years, empaths have been told the same story. You are too emotional, too sensitive, too easily overwhelmed. You need stronger boundaries. You need thicker skin. But what if the truth is far more radical than that? What if empaths aren't fragile people struggling with the world, but highly perceptive individuals using advanced psychological abilities in completely the wrong way? This is about fantasy. It isn't about mysticism. And it isn't about labeling yourself as special. It is about understanding what is really happening inside your nervous system. There are people who can walk into a room and instantly feel the emotional atmosphere shift, who can sense danger before it reveals itself, who can detect lies before they are spoken, who can feel someone's hidden pain beneath a confident smile. Most of them think something is wrong with them. They spend their lives absorbing emotions that don't belong to them, rescuing people who never asked to be saved, ignoring intuitive warnings in the name of being kind, overriding deep perception with hope, and slowly they burn out. But here is the shift. What if your empathic abilities were never designed for absorption? What if they were built for discernment, for navigation, for protection? Welcome to Dr. Gabor Maté, Inner Healing. This channel is dedicated to understanding trauma, emotional patterns, and the hidden wounds that shape our lives. Here, we explore healing, self-awareness, and the journey back to your true self. If you're ready to understand yourself on a deeper level, you're in the right place. What if everything you've been told about being an empath is backwards? For decades, certain psychologists studied people who seemed to possess an almost supernatural sensitivity to others, emotions, and energy. Much of the psychiatric community tried to pathologize these experiences as delusion or poor boundaries, but a different approach emerged. Take empaths seriously. Study them the way a biologist studies a species with unusual sensory equipment. What was discovered changed the understanding of human consciousness. Empaths weren't imagining their abilities. They showed consistent neurological and psychological differences that allowed them to perceive information through channels most people don't conscious access. But here's the problem. Most empaths were using these abilities in ways that drained and destroyed them instead of empowering them. The difference between an empath who is constantly overwhelmed and one who moves through life with grounded power comes down to understanding what these abilities actually are and how they are meant to function. Careful observation revealed specific mechanisms. Clear patterns emerged showing where empaths go wrong, and practical methods were developed for using empathic abilities correctly. Today, you'll see what these real abilities are, why most empaths use them backwards in ways that cause suffering, and how to transform sensitivity from a wound into strength. The investigation began with a simple question. What if empaths aren't broken people with poor boundaries? What if they are people with highly functional abilities who were never taught how to use them properly? When their experiences were taken at face value instead of dismissed, consistent patterns appeared. Empaths were perceiving real information about others, emotional states, psychological patterns, and subtle shifts in energy. The question was never whether their perceptions were real. The real question was how they worked, and why they so often harmed the empath. The first ability identified was emotional field perception. Empaths can sense the emotional atmosphere of a space without verbal communication. They walk into a room and immediately know something is wrong. They sit next to someone and feel waves of anxiety, sadness, or anger that seem to have no source. Most empaths assume these feelings are their own. They enter a space and suddenly feel depressed or anxious and believe something is wrong with them. But what actually happening is perception, not ownership. They are picking up emotional frequencies around them, like a radio tuned to a station they did know was playing. This ability often develops in childhood environments where survival depended on accurately reading emotional shifts. If you grew up needing to know when someone was about to explode, your nervous system learned to detect subtle changes before they became visible. That survival mechanism never turned off. The mistake most empaths make is absorption instead of perception. Instead of recognizing they sensing someone else's emotional state, they internalize it. They accumulate everyone else as anxiety, anger, and sadness throughout the day, then wonder why they feel exhausted when nothing actually happened to them. Emotional field perception is meant to function like vision. You can see a tree without becoming the tree. You can perceive anger without absorbing it. The practice is simple but disciplined. When a strong emotion arises, pause and ask, is this mine? Does it connect to my actual circumstances? Or did it appear when I entered this space or met this person? That one question changes everything. Once you distinguish between your emotions and perceived emotions, you stop absorbing. You can sense someone's rage and think, that person is angry, without becoming angry yourself. The second ability is unconscious pattern recognition. Empaths detect psychological patterns within minutes of meeting someone. They sense untrustworthiness before lies are exposed. They feel danger before aggression appears. They recognize core wounds before they are spoken. Their unconscious mind processes massive amounts of microinformation, tone shifts, facial expressions, body language inconsistencies, word patterns, and assembles accurate psychological profiles at remarkable speed. This also evolved for survival. Children in unstable environments become experts at threat detection. That skill becomes permanent. The problem is not that empaths lack intuition. The problem is they override it. They sense deception but give the benefit of the doubt. They feel unsafe but stay hopeful. They recognize toxicity but convince themselves they were judging too quickly. Social conditioning teaches them. Nice people don't judge. Spiritual people see the best in everyone. Good people give second chances. So they ignore the very ability designed to protect them. The correct use of pattern recognition is trust, quiet trust. You don't need drama or confrontation. You simply maintain distance when your nervous system flags something. The third ability is shadow detection. Empaths perceive not only what people show, but what they hide. The rage beneath the smile, the insecurity beneath the confidence, the emptiness beneath the charm. They sense repressed material automatically. This makes them powerful in therapeutic or supportive settings. But in personal life, it becomes dangerous when misused. Instead of using shadow perception for discernment, many empaths use it as a rescue mission. They see someone as wound and feel responsible for healing it. They understand someone, drama, and excuse harmful behavior. They perceive the hurt child beneath the toxic adult and stay, hoping to save them. Understanding why someone behaves destructively does not make them safe. Shadow detection is information, not a mandate to fix. Compassion does not require self-sacrifice. The fourth ability is trajectory perception. Empaths sense where situations are heading long before visible evidence appears. They feel a relationship failing months before it collapses. They sense job instability before official warning signs emerge. This isn't a prophecy. It is subtle pattern extrapolation. Their system detects micro-shifts and predicts direction. But again, they override it with hope. Maybe it will change. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am being negative. So they stay. And months later the collapse happens exactly as perceived. Trajectory perception gives you lead time. It's foresight meant to help you prepare or exit early. Ignoring it is self-abandonment. The fifth ability is energetic resonance. Empaths can directly match another person as emotional frequency. With someone anxious, they feel anxious. With someone depressed, they feel depressed. This ability evolved for bonding, especially between caregiver and infant. But empaths often resonate with everyone, all the time. By the end of the day, their nervous system has synchronized with dozens of emotional states and lost its own baseline. The correct use is conscious activation. You choose when to resonate and when to return to yourself. After supporting someone, intentionally separate. Take a few breaths. Visualize their energy returning to them. Remind yourself that it's theirs. This is mine. Resonance without boundaries leads to burnout. Conscious resonance leads to power. The sixth ability is dimensional perception. Empaths perceive multiple layers simultaneously, spoken words and unspoken truth, surface behavior and hidden motivation, conscious intention and unconscious drive. This makes ordinary conversation complex. They hear someone say, "I am fine," while sensing distress. They listen to confidence while perceiving insecurity. The misuse of this ability is constant correction, pointing out contradictions, challenging defenses, forcing awareness. But seeing everything does obligate you to expose everything. Dimensional perception is meant for informed decision-making, not managing other people. As consciousness. Silent wisdom is power. The ultimate principle behind all empathic abilities is this: they exist for your protection and discernment, not for rescue and absorption. These abilities are navigation systems. When used correctly, you perceive without absorbing. You read patterns without fixing. You sense trajectories without denying them. You resonate consciously and return to baseline. You see shadow and choose wisely. An empowered empath is not endlessly accommodating. They are discerning, boundaried, selective. If you've been exhausted by your sensitivity, your abilities aren't the problem. Misuse is the problem. You've been absorbing instead of perceiving, rescuing instead of discerning, ignoring intuition instead of trusting it, hoping instead of acting, resonating automatically instead of consciously. When used correctly, empathy becomes strength. You perceive everything but absorb nothing. You understand deeply but intervene selectively. You see clearly but respect timing. The conscious empath does shut down their gifts. They master them. Your perception is real. Your sensitivity is powerful, and it is meant to serve you first. Learn to perceive without absorbing. Trust without rescuing. See completely without managing everyone else as growth. That is the path from exhaustion to grounded power. Not superiority, not control. Just the ability to inhabit your own life without being overwhelmed by everyone else. That changes everything.